LRH?
No, I met Arthur Hubbard, I met Quentin Hubbard, I met Diane Hubbard, I met Suzette. I've talked to Quentin, I've talked to Arthur, but I never met the old man.
Mm. But how were his children? You said you met Quentin.
Oh yeah, Quentin was so dynamic. Quentin at that time was auditing his father on the research line.
Mm-hmm.
He was the #2 tech terminal in the world. He was slated to take over the tech when L. Ron Hubbard died, but he got murdered.
Murdered?
Yes.
They are like all over the internet, all those stories that suicide would happen. But me
yeah.
personally never believed this. But
No. Matter of fact, I told my girlfriend at the time, back in 1976, I said, Quentin Hubbard is dead. And she says, what are you talking about? I said, he's dead. I don't know why, but he is. And the next day it came out in the papers that he died. So I was in tune with him, and somehow he let me know that he dropped his body. So
you don't buy the official story?
no, because first of all, you got to get rid of the successor on the tech line. Then you got to get rid of the legal, and that's how they got rid of Mary Sue Hubbard. They had about 10 Sea Org members in a room for hours and hours telling Mary Sue Hubbard that her husband didn't love her anymore and that she had to give up the copyrights to the CST. And they literally forced her, and they used black Dianetics on her. They had Ray Midoff, David Miscavige. They were all in the room, and they wouldn't let her out until she signed these papers. So you get rid of the successor of the tech, then you get rid of the legal department, and then there's no longer Scientology. Now you have the CST.
Well, there is something I don't understand. You see, it looks like people are cutting the branch on which they are sitting, because if Scientology doesn't, if you change the Scientology, you change the technology, then it's not working, right? Then you are not having your results.
Right. Well, it's like this. Like, say you wanted to use navigation and use mathematics to get from San Pedro, California, or Los Angeles, and go over to Australia, right? If you change the equation just a slight bit with the mathematics, you will never arrive in Australia. So if you just alter the tech just a slight little bit, you won't get there.
You get somewhere else.
Yes. Yeah, you're gonna,
this is where now they can
get
find
to
themselves.
Squirrel heaven is where you're going to get to.
Well, all right. So tell me, how do you see the future of Scientology?
The only future I see is in the free zone. That's where the real Scientology is happening. The Church of Scientology is not making products anymore. They're lying about their stats. They're saying they're expanding worldwide, and they've got a few handful of people. For example, when I was on the briefing course in 1975, there was 2,000 briefing course students.
2,000? How could they fit into, you know?
It was the Day org and the Foundation. Between those two orgs, if you didn't find a seat and get a tape recorder, you were lost. So you had to get there early. The roll calls took forever. The supervisor, you know, just it would take about 10 minutes for roll call.
Amazing.
And then now you walk into ASHO, and I dare say there's less than 100. And is that worldwide expansion of Scientology?
That sounds like worldwide shrinking.
It's a contraction.
Yeah.
It's just a joke.
Well, that's too bad. That's too bad, because the tech is brilliant, right?
Yeah, and then after all those briefing course students went out into their areas and completed the briefing course, there was an international boom of Scientology. There was missions developing everywhere. It was just a fantastic period of time in Scientology. The expansion was tremendous. And then all the mission networks got their throat cut in 1982 by David Miscavige. It was called the Mission Network Conference of 1982, where the finance police and Scavenge and the whole gang, they just literally destroyed the Mission Network overnight.
I don't know what to say. It doesn't make sense because how orgs can survive if there is no mission? Because
Yeah,
mission
because
is sending people
you have to have
to the org.
you have to have field auditors
Yeah.
to support the missions and the orgs, and you have to have missions to feed publics to the orgs and the Sea Org and things like that. And when you cut off the roots,
Yeah,
then
it's
the
like
tree-
tree without the roots.
the tree doesn't grow, and the fruit falls off, and that's what's happening now. It's just record numbers of people are walking out of the quote Church of Scientology. I mean, it's incredible. Just in the last couple weeks, I've heard of about 10 different people getting out. They can't take it anymore. I mean, there comes a point where you're a slave for so long, and then you say, no, I want to be free. I want to be myself and have my own self-determinism.
Yeah, how long can you go on justifying? At some
Well,
point,
you know, just like the Nazis, you know, they went on for years and people tolerated it, and they said, well, I guess this is the way it is, and you know, our Fuhrer, you know, he's doing the right decisions for us. But then they found out that it wasn't right.
Okay. All right. Thank you, David.
Okay.
It
You're
was
welcome.
a pleasure meeting you.